hell of a coincidence or completely connected. A man who received a note saying you have to leave this town, leave this community. All of a sudden, his house gets set on fire. So put up the picture full mass. 49-year-old San Francisco dog walker Terry Williams and his parents have been longtime residents of Alamo Square. That's a neighborhood. But ever since Williams started his dog walking business about 14 years ago, he has experienced racist attacks following a series of horrific incidents that included receiving racist notes, packages, and death threats in April and May. His family has now been left homeless. On May 21st, his family home burned down, and it has left the entire community stunned. Many are questioning it, why there wasn't police protection around his home, given the disturbing seriousness of the harassment leading up to the fire. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. It was on the morning of April 26th when Williams' father found on their doorstep something that shook the family to their core. In a clear plastic bag filled with notes of racist vitriol was this creepy doll covered in scribbled slurs, a photo of Williams, and perhaps the most chilling of all, a noose around the doll's neck. Okay, that's a clear death threat, all right? Clearly. The same day, San Francisco police opened a hate crime investigation and had a small lead after they obtained surveillance video from a neighbor showing a person approaching Williams' home at about 12:30 a.m. On May 5th, around 2 a.m., a second threatening package arrived at the home that escalated the vitriol again. It contained a black-faced doll with a noose, and Terry Williams had been written across the top of the doll's head. The notes were worse this time, with horrific death threats directed at Williams, including, quote, "Get out of Alamo Square District," and "Pure race whites rule the globe. We will continue to exterminate you N-word slaves," and images of the KKK. Neighbors, friends, and family, they have now rallied behind this family, organizing this GoFundMe to raise money for a security system and to help his family relocate to a safe location while the police track down leads. You can contribute as well. Help Terry keep his family safe after hate crime. Do what you can, please. On May 11th, a rally against racism drew a crowd to Alamo Square in his honor to raise awareness of the hate crimes committed against our neighbors, said a flyer for the event. In the meantime, Terry turned to the press to get media attention on the case. "This has got to stop. My people don't speak up. They keep everything tucked in. You can't let this go by. Can't let this go by. The more stuff you let go by, the most they feel entitled to do stuff. This is my way of stepping up. No, I'm not letting this happen no more. This makes me want to stay and fight harder. I'm not going anywhere," he told ABC 7 News. After the rally, Mayor London Breed assured Terry Williams that his case would be top priority for the San Francisco police. City Supervisor Dean Preston also introduced a resolution urging law enforcement to find the perpetrators, condemning the threats against Black residents as reminiscent of historical racial terror. The city is behind them. On the morning of May 21st, Terry Williams was meeting with city leaders when his family home was suddenly set ablaze. His elderly parents were inside at the time. Luddy, his 81-year-old father, recounted to the San Francisco Standard how Williams' mother, Carolyn, smelled smoke. And soon the living room was engulfed in flames. Quote, "I don't know what happened. I was just trying to get me and my wife the hell out of there," end quote. Witnesses told Mission Local that Carolyn, who was nearly 80, was carried out of the burning building, while Mr. Luddy was rescued when trying to escape. Both were hospitalized for smoke inhalation. A bomb squad searched the residence but found no explosive devices. Letitia Humphrey, Williams' sister, told the Mission Local, quote, "How dare they, whoever they are, come and attack my elderly parents," end quote. Since 1990, the percentage of Black San Francisco residents has dropped from 10.9% to 5.7% in 2021, per the U.S. Census Bureau. Many blame gentrification and skyrocketing housing costs in the city for the decrease. But hate crimes play a role. Black people report experiencing nearly 60% of all hate violence in San Francisco, per a 2020 San Francisco Human Rights Commission resolution, and also have the highest mortality rate in the city, with 9 of the 10 top causes of death. Williams doesn't know how he will recover from yet another setback, but he promises to keep fighting. According to NBC News, no arrests have been made yet, and Williams has filed a report also with the FBI. We stand with this family. We stand with this family because we stand against the hatred of racism and bigotry. The intolerance of these individuals will not win. I'm very proud of this young man and his family for standing strong. They shouldn't have to. They should not have to go through this. And so if we can help them in a small way, making a contribution, sending a prayer or a positive thought, let's do so. Because this is how you defeat the evil of racism, by standing together against it. Sharon, thoughts here?
Must be some pretty expensive real estate. That's what I think. I think this could very well be economic terrorism disguised as something else. Not to say that racism isn't a leading candidate, but the city is not behind them. Not if it took 14 years of this disgustingness. And by the way, the neighbors aren't stunned if this was going on and all of those notes and dolls and everything else was left there. They're not, okay? And I think everyone's a suspect. I think everyone is a suspect. Thank goodness he reached out to the FBI. Let's hope something gets done.
Yeah, and you have to imagine a city like San Francisco, there are cameras everywhere.
Yep.
And if a neighbor caught the person on camera at 12:30, that means that they had to drive up and down the street at some point that has a camera somewhere else. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we're going to stay on top of this story, and our best of luck to the family.